Welcome everybody to the Brooklyn Racing League. This is season 14, round 11 at Detroit Belle. And I think it's going to be quite the interesting one. It's got a lot of people crashing in practice so far. Not only crashing, but a lot of black flags as well. Track limits. I think this is going to be pretty spicy. Not as many drivers. Participation has been kind of slumped a little bit, but that's all right. This is almost like a callback to, I would say, season 7 or 8, maybe even 9. It's 7 or 8, when generally we would have about 30 drivers, no more than that, just 30. Consistent amount of drivers, the same drivers that we've always seen. Come out. Oof, look at that little spicy move there with Yale Pena coming out and Dylan Thomas having to take avoiding action. Now we got 10 minutes, 15 seconds left in practice, and then we'll get straight into qualifying, 15-minute qualifying session, and then on to the sprint race. That said, we've got 30 of the most reliable drivers that show up all the time. 31 drivers, technically. Every driver that is here is registered and has done time on the board. That's the part that matters the most. Oof. Yale Pena finds the wall. Jacob Simmons leads us right now with a 127.251. Now, that is the lowest time that anyone's gotten. So from P1 to P14, Marshall Scarry is the last driver in that 127 range. He's got a 127.992. And then after that, it's P15 with the 128s, and 128s from P15 all the way on to P24. And then from 24, everyone else is in the 129s. So P25 onward, all still within the 129s. So you got 3 groups of drivers in terms of pace, 127, 128s, and 129s. Which means this is going to be a fairly interesting race. Once it comes down to the rhythm and the motion of the race. Pace, pretty standard and equal amongst all the drivers, being only a second off. P1 all the way down to P31. Actually 2 seconds, 127 to 129. Where's Dixon? Dan Gleesack. Isn't that your alter ego, Trey? I'm almost positive that is. I forgot. Looking at the leaderboard, you would see Nick Maz and Mark Foley are in the fight. So is Jacob Simmons. So right now in the GT3 Season 14 standings, Nick Mazza is leading over Mark Foley. Nick Mazza is P1, Mark Foley's P2. Trey Mistack is P3, and Jacob Simmons, who's leading the timing sheet there, is in P4. So he is not far behind. Oh, doesn't make any sense. He's got some hefty margin. It's really going to come down to a battle for Nick Mazza and Mark Foley, because they are 500 points ahead of their rivals. Going over to the Pro-Am class, Chris Lambeth leads in P1 over Marshall Scarry in P2, Rodrigo Theory in P3, Cooper McCoy in P4, and then rounding out the top 5, Matt Benson. I mean, think Matt Benson's here. That is not you. Is that just... I don't even understand how you guys have all these different names. Is that Tyler? Is Tyler's in the... That was P21. Well, as that is, Pro-Am class. Marshall Scarry is in the lead there in P15 on the board, and Chris Lambeth is P23. Their difference in time is about 8/10. So this is going to be quite the recovery race for Chris Lambeth, who's leading the championship, but might get surpassed with Marshall Scari is able to hold on to P1 in this race, as it looks like he is doing in practice. Going over to the AM class, Alex Zier leading in P8 at the moment in practice. He's going to be leading the AMs entirely. There's no doubt about that. Hopefully he just goes straight to the pro class. After the one more round, we will see some promotions. Alex Zier, P1, Eric Koonsman, P2, Jeff Lubitch in P3. So Draft Punk Bronze hold down the 1-2 spot, or sorry, the 2-3 spot. And Thomas Smith in 4th, Steve McAllister in 5th. And then down over to our rookie class, Gage Yams is not here. But I wouldn't expect a lot of people to be here. Belle Isle is it's a tricky track. It's a street track, but also just not a lot of people bought this track. I mean, I would say I've had the pleasure of racing here in an endurance race in the old Ferrari car that got phased out, but I think it's a fun track. I think it's a fine, lovely track. Tricky, but, you know, not too bad. Gage isn't here. Patrick Rich is not here. He's P2 in the rookie class. Andre Rodriguez is P3. I don't think he's here either. I would be shocked to see a single rookie make it to this race. I got Lee Winters, Aaron Myers, Jet. Oh no, Yale Pena. Yale Pena's here. So we got one driver. Joshua Spears is already he's gone up. Jablonski's also gone up. Yeah, I think we got one rookie, and it's Yale Pena, and he's going to inherit P1 just by virtue of showing up. Congratulations to him on that one. Actually, no, Prashant. No, where's he at? Nope, Prashant's already in a different category. He's in the pros. Never mind. All right, down to the team standings. SimCity Racing 1 is Jason Allen and Nicholas Mazza. They are P1 in the team standings. Jason Chicken Chop of Mark Foley, Chris Lambeth in 2nd. Draft Punk Bronze, you already know who those two are. The AM Class Boys, Jeff Lubitch and Eric Koonsman. Ski Team, Brian Zaborowski Jr., Joshua Jablonski in P4. Untitled Team 1, Cooper McCoy and Tyler Anderson in P5. Draft Punk Silver of Dylan Thomas, Rodrigo Theory in 6. SimCity Racing 2 of Chris Stewart, Joshua Spears in 7. Little Lugnuts of Chris Cheerling and Charles Whedon in 8. Miss Apex Racing of Max Poe and Spencer Smith in 9. Captain Global Motorsports of the league owner, Craig Carroll, and Steve McAllister in P10. Pit Lane Donuts in P11 with Matt Benson and Jeff Koffold in that one. Draft Punk Gold is Elliot Burton and Peter Flanner in 12. Jason Chicken Chop Janitorial Team, Jacob Simmons and Chris Lambeth. That's not true. They're in 13. I think it's Jacob Simmons and Joshua Grasso. That is not updated. Cars Racing, Savage Speedsters, Forrest Holland, and Michael Sharon in P14. Acer Rays of Lars Tiehouse and Thomas Smith in P15. The Gleesack Racing Team is no longer a team, but they're still holding P16 over Prosciutto Punch Racing of Andrew Korostecki, Eric Rodriguez, Pax Oceani, Jimmer Bimmer, Power Outer, Matt Baldwin, Eric Neville, also a team that is no longer with us. Darkwing in their P18, Darkwing Racing of Richard Severa and Michael Thompson in P19. I don't even think Richard Severa's raced in a couple of races so far. Shadowline Racing in P20 of Brandon Burns and Blake Patterson. Pax Oceani, insert name here, John Javecki, Alex Othen. They are P21. P22 is Pax Oceani, Jimmer Bimmer, Power Outer. Second half, John Javecki and Eric Neville. So looks like John Javecki switched teams. Aero Racing of Yale Pena and Connor Burns in 23. Puck Guy Racing of Colin Luckhurst and Adam Tingle in 24. Southbound Racing of Philip Kieser in 25. And Pax Oceani placeholder JD Daniel and Chris Daniel. No relation between those two in 26. That's a lot of teams. And ironically, not all that many drivers are actually here on the grid to support their team. There's Max Poe giving a little pirouette there. It should be noted that Max Poe is drinking, or has drank. So any performance any lack of performance might be chalked up to that if we see any interesting things happen on track. Didn't know Trey had all chat in here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got a secondary account just so he's on Chrome, he's on Internet Explorer. What's that one called nowadays? And he's on Firefox. He's got 3 accounts and they're all just typed away on chat. I do not have a... it's a funny one when you see it. Well, practice is over and no one's topped the timing sheet there. Jacob Simmons reigned supreme in practice. We are going into qualifying. And with that, brief word from our sponsor. And welcome back. Jason M. Allen of SimCity Racing is leading us out on his outlap here in qualifying. Like Alex Authen might want to get a jump on this, but he is stuck between a SimCity Racing sandwich. I'm sure this qualifying will be very clean with no incidents or impeding. You know, I am kind of curious about the impeding. It did get rescinded, correct? So, on the last, on Spa, I guess everything's all good-ish. Qualifying incident. And we shall go straight on board with Jason M. Allen on his hot lap. Got no one in front of him. I mean, this is for Daniel, but that's way too far ahead for him to have to be concerned about that. Oof. Let's see how close it's actually getting to that right-hander. That was quite something. That was turn 6. If you can call it a corner, it is a corner. Turn 14. Rounds it out. He goes across the board quickest so far. We will see that change momentarily. Jason M. Allen is going fastest right now. Jacob Simmons is the one to look at here. He is the driver that was fastest in practice. What can he do here in qualifying? Mark Foley goes into second. Jason M. Allen still holds the fastest lap with that 127.8. We know they can get down into the 0.2s, 0.3s. Alex Zier in the 128s. There's 14 drivers that got to the 127s in practice. Right now, only 2 so far in qualifying. We did gain just a few drivers as well. I mean, is this the best camera view that we have available? I swear. Usually, TV3 is the best angle. Holy... I mean, that's it. This is a forgotten track. Camera angles are not that great. Is Jacob Simmons on a flyer? It's a pretty good one. If he rounds out and finishes, he might take P1 right across the board here. Nick Mazza was fastest for a second, but there goes Jacob Simmons and has now taken P1 with that 127.6. Nick Mazza's 1/10 off that time. 0.100. When you look at that, stats. Jake Daly is the last driver in our drivers that has qualified. He's going to go again here. He did that 130, but goes into the 129.3, so he goes into P23 with that time, pushes Prashant Jayaraman down into P28. You got Rodrigo Theory, who's out on a lap himself, Charles Whedon, Jeff Lubitsch. It's a Charles Whedon, but Charles Whedon just took P23 from Jake Daly. And Rodrigo's on an out. Is Jeff on a flyer here? He is, but he's in, it's like Sector 2, if you want to call it Sector 2. Nick Mazza going into the pits. Probably reset. John Chipecki did improve his time, but not his position. Jacob Simmons now has crossed the line and gone the 127.5, improving that much quicker. Elliott Burton also improved and went quicker on this lap with a 128.3. Cooper McCoy just behind him in P17. Rodrigo now goes out for his hot lap. Let's see what Jeff Lubitsch can do. So 129.7 puts him into 28, actually, as Dylan Thomas crossed the line to go 27th. Charles Whedon up into 24th. Yale Pena doing pretty strong himself into 23 with that 129. We knew there's going to be a lot of drivers in the 129s, 128s, and we're kind of seeing that now. A lot of the stretch is there. Only 7 drivers, Mark Foley being the last one, has gotten into the 127s. Christopher Daniels almost there. 128.002. Can he improve on this lap? He has not. It's unfortunate. Alex Othman in P9, also in the 128s. 128 seems to be the spread here. Is P8 onward to P22 of Braden Daniels, all in the 128s. Yale Pena leads in the 129s and 23rd, and all the way down into 30th is the 129s. Prashant Jayaraman is just outside that range. What can Rodrigo Theory do here? He's going back in the pits. He has not set a time on the board. I'm not sure what's going on with this driver, but he's got to get it moving. He's got 6 minutes, 57 seconds left in this qualifying session to put a time on the board. Justin and Trey, I swear, you guys could have your own little like Discord message back and forth, like just trolls, just trolling right now. Joshua Spears goes into P14 with that time on the board, 128.2. What a move for this driver. And it's kind of odd. I thought SimCity Racing 1 was the team that was losing there over SimCity Racing 2, but I guess things must have changed in the last couple of races. Look at that. Christopher Daniel finding the wall. That is no bueno. He's found it twice now. Just take an action shot of this driver, because by the time this finishes, he will have rubbed the carbon fiber off each side of his car. Although, was that like a glitch? Because it looked like he really hit it hard at a turn 4. Or is that turn 5? Yeah, it's turn 5. Must be just like a little glitch, because he didn't get that close. But it still registered that he hit the wall. Little visual bug. Now let's take a look here at Rodrigo Theory. What is this driver doing? Can he get a lap down at his turn 5 and turn 6? Shedding weight for his final run. Hey, that's a strategy. Reduce the amount of carbon fiber on the car. Should be noted that, like, it's been a solid 8 minutes and no one's caught up to Jacob Simmons' time. I wonder what the conditions on track are like if we can't even get a driver into the 127s, the low 127s, as previously in practice was done. 127.256 was it? And Rodrigo Theory crosses line with a 128.2, and that puts him to P16. Finally there. And we also have Noah Hoskinson joining the fight. Now we have 33 drivers out there. Ooh, got a blinker from Miles Brown. Noah's on an outlap. Dylan Thomas going quicker on that last lap, puts him into P26 with a 129.096. Swear, be lucky to get into the 130s here. No change in the order so far, but John Javecki did overtake Nick Mazza for P2. Joshua Ronci still holding out in that P4 spot with Chris Chierling in 5. Mark's been in P6 for some time now, and the separation is very close. 0.043, and says Jason M. Allen just crossed the line to go P3, and he's got that 0.069 from Jacob Simmons. So they're all within a tenth, 2/10 of the leader here. It's fascinating. From P1 to 7, that's what it's looking like there. Peter Flanner being in P8, 0.3 off. So Elliott Burton crosses the line, go a little bit quicker here. He went to P15. And we got 2 minutes left in practice, or in qualifying. Miles Brown completely blinks his way out of existence again. And look at that. Goes for an overtake in qualifying. And that was turn 5. Where is he? There he is. Ooh! Noah. Noah found the wall. It sneaks up on you, because it's like right there. But then you still end up hitting it, and it's like a depth perception thing. It's Peter Flanner holding out P8 in a Mustang. Has he been in a Mustang this entire time? I could have swore this guy was in a different car. Huh? You know? just don't know. Peter Flanner wasn't a Mustang this entire time. Hmm. Yeah. You see some of these packs, not packs, the Draft Punk liveries, and I'm not sure which one switch sometimes. I know they're gold, bronze, and silver, but you know, we only do this once a week, every Sundays. How am I supposed to remember from a week ago? Some times across the board have been shifted. People are getting quicker. Joshua Spears went to P12. Max Poe went to P17. And with qualifying ending, I guess we'll see whether or not... Whoa! Mark Foley with a 127.403 crosses the line and is the quickest driver so far. We still have a little bit ways to go, but holy, Mark Foley. Provisional pole at the moment. Let's see if he can hold on to that. Nick Mazza by 0.001 has crossed the line and overtaken Mark Foley. Oh my God. That is insane. 001. That has got to be really frustrating if you're P2. Alex Othen going in the pit lane. And Chris Lambeth, I don't think he improved here. He's P23 at the moment, and it doesn't look like he improved. And that is it. He is the last driver out there on track. Just going over to the, not the results, but the grid. Nick Maz P1, Mark Foley P2, Jacob Simmons P3, John Trevecchi P4, Christopher Daniel P5, Jason M. Allen P6, Joshua Jablonski P7, Chris Sherling P8, Max Poe P9, Peter Flanner P10, Alex Othen P11, Alex Zier P12, Joshua Spears P13, Spencer Smith P14, Marshall Scarry 15, Tyler Anderson 16, Brandon Burns P17, Elliot Burton P18, Cooper McCoy 19, Rodrigo Theory 20, Miles Brown 21, Brady Daniels P22, Chris Lambert 23, Charles Reed 24, Tyler Kern 25, Dylan Thomas 26, Jake Daly 27, E.L. Pena 28, Prashant Jayaraman in 29, Craig Carroll 30, Jeff Lubich 31, Steve Gallister 32, and Noah Hodgkinson 33. And he's going for it. Last to first. It looks like the Jason's Chicken Shop have secured rows 1 and 2, albeit the 2 and 3 on the grid. Drew Peacock 1970. Oh God. If that's not a joke and that's just someone's regular name, well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that one. All the packs within the top 11, it looks like that might be the case. Alex Othen is P11. Christopher Daniels 5th. John Chivecki 4th. And Max Poe has joined your guys' little club. Except you and me, because we're smart enough not to race. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing's funny about your name. I just thought it was going to be someone like... I thought it was Justin. Creating a new a nail count just to, or Gray would have done it too. Well, this race is about to start. 31 laps. It feels like an akin reminiscent to seasons long past, where there's not as many drivers on the grid. We've usually been stacking up to the 40s, 50s, and even getting that far in the numbers. It's been great, but you know, getting back to a 30-ish driver grid, especially here at a street track like this, it's kind of nice. Kind of nice to see it, the old Brooklyn Racing League. Now, is Mark going to go for any heroics on lap 1? Kind of curious if anyone goes for heroics here on lap 1. I guess we will be seeing that in just a second as the safety car pulls off, and we still got a couple drivers trying to slot in there. Oof! Ori, people at the back have... What the... Ooh. Okay. That's going to be under review after we get to it. Mark Foley is set in third. Jacob Simmons set in fourth. John Javecki in... Sorry, Jacob Simmons in third. John Javecki in fourth. Everyone's slotting up pretty nicely. Chris Chitterling has jumped Joshua Jablonski for one position. Jason M. Allen also got Christopher Daniel right off the start there. And there's Joshua Jablonski to go take that position back. And he has done so for the moment, but they're going to go side by side in the next section. Is it going to be going up to Christopher Chitterling? Not at the moment, but now it does. In turn 5, he's got the right of way there, but stays ahead, crucially. And Nick Mazza and Mark Foley may be battling it out here in P1 for that top spot. It looked like it was going to switch over. There's 2/10 separating these two. And it's blocked by the trees. We've got John Javecki being eviscerated by his competition, and that is unfortunate. I don't even know what to say there. Marshall Scari on the inside of Elliott Burton. He's keeping his nose there, but he's had to back out. Elliott Burton's up now 4 positions. Jason M. Allen's also gone into the pit lane. Looked like he was a part of that scrap. Ooh, he turned John, and then there was a Concordian effect there, and they all just kind of slammed into each other, and yeah, he's got some damage. So that was not only one driver, but several drivers involved in that incident. It's unfortunate. But that's Belle Isle. Mark still on the heels of Nick Mazza. Yeah, that's not a great move. Briefly going over, we have Craig Carroll, who spun, and Steve McAllister hit his teammate. This is teammate on teammate violence. Oof. That is not good. And then Yale Pena Ooh, Jake Daly. Just that. Ah, he got him. Going further back here. Look at this. What's happening? This was the, they all just stopped. That's the start. This is the start of the race. I don't know what you say on that one. John Javecki is definitely out of this race. Sorry to the Pax Oceani guys that are in chat. That is a big F for John Javecki. I mean, we're doing some Schrodinger's driver, because is he here, isn't he here? Miles Brown keeps blinking in and out of existence in front of these drivers. Braden Daniels, Chris Lambeth, and it's showing him tumble down the order every time he blinks away. Miles Brown is that Porsche that sometimes pops up, and there's the white and purple. He's got some damage on that rear as well. Jason M. Allen, who pit on lap 1, is already back in the fight as he's overtaken Steve McAllister. The last to first challenge is on for him. And he's going to be making some moves. Lawson-esque move there. Was that the Jake Daly one on Yale Pena? Is that what you're referring to there, Trey? The nose up onto, what is that, turn? That's that weird, like, you say, like, turn 8. Marshall Scari, P14 at the moment. His rival, Chris Lambeth, is in P19. He's gotten ahead of Miles Brown as well. Tyler Kern also trying to make the moves here. You got Tyler Kern, Charles Whedon, Pro-Am drivers sitting behind a Pro. And it is quite scary to be driving at full speed while not really being able to predict the speed of the driver in front of you, because you can't see when they have a good connection or not. That is gotta be weighing in on the minds of these drivers. If we go on the gyro here, and you can see Tyler Kern holding it ahead of Charles Whedon for the moment. They're separated by 1/10, 2/10. Yeah, that's true. I saw a couple of those in the highlights. He does not know how to pass people. That much is for sure. We knew it was going to be kind of like this. Spencer Smith in P15 only down 1 spot from the start of this race, but everyone is well within a decent 2/10, 3/10, 4/10 away from the driver ahead of them, even the driver behind them. But not a whole lot's going to be done at the moment. I think Elliott Burton might be one of the only drivers here that's going to hold that title of a lot of overtakes. He's actually not the only one. He's got 5, and Tyler Anderson has 5. Tyler Anderson up into P11 at the moment, with Joshua Spears just ahead of him 1.2 seconds. That's a new livery. Looks kind of cool, too. Oof. As I speak a little too soon, I'm going to dial that back. Frechant and Dylan Thomas going side by side into turn 1. And out of turn 2, it goes to Dylan Thomas. He's made a pass. Passes that I didn't think was going to happen. But there it is. We got some drivers making some moves. Max Poe and Joshua Jablonski. Ooh. That might be my connection at that point. I might be the one that's having a problem. Max Poe holding out fairly strong against his rivals. Peter Flanders, pretty quick. So is Alex Authen, Joshua Spears, Tyler Anderson. All these drivers behind him have pace. And you got a bunch of pros. Whoa! And there we have Alex Zier into the side. What happened here? Was it all on its own? Yes, it was. And hopefully he gets right back into it. It looked like Max Poe was going to be able to challenge Joshua Jablonski, but he's kind of tucked back in and is waiting out his chances there, just weighing him up. A quick group of drivers. This is Tyler Anderson with the fastest time of them all, that 128.9. The drivers ahead of him are doing 130s. Joshua Spears did a 129, but they were the pace difference that Tyler Anderson has to the drivers ahead of him is significant. I am kind of shocked he isn't a little bit closer to Joshua Spears, considering. Interesting. How did this happen? Mark Foley is driving slowly. What the? What do you call that? Can he get slowdowns? I mean, I'm gonna go. He didn't. What a chopper cam here. He would have gotten it. Not there. That's quite bizarre. He literally stops right there. And then... Well... It's odd. Braden Daniels overtakes Cooper McCoy here. And is it all said and done? I'll see in a second. Yeah, it looks like it is. Braden Daniels going ahead. Cooper for P16. I'll hold it ahead. Interesting for Mark. Pedal disconnect. That turn at the end of the back straight. It's got to be some type of, like, I would say maybe a wheel issue as well. Maybe like his wheel just like, hey, he didn't make any odd moves with the wheel with his driving, so that would be one to definitely ask after when we're engaged. Now that would be funny. Elliot Burton, now up 6 positions, has Tyler Anderson in his sights. Over to Prashant Jayaraman here, who's got Jake Daly neck and neck into turn 3. Ooh, gets a double overtake on Miles Brown possibly. Nope. Just the one on Jake Daly. And Miles Brown, you got to kind of play a little bit of chicken because you don't know where he's at. And bam, he's there again. But he appears behind the driver. And that is got to be a little sketchy. But there it is. 2 moves down for Prashant Jayaraman, and now Jake Daly and Jeff Lubitsch here are going to have to navigate their way through the blinker. I mean, to be fair, it's never really this bad. He usually blinks like once or twice a race, but this is a inconsistent amount of blinking. Or consistent, depending on how you want to word it. Marshall Scari and Spencer Smith battling it out here for P13. And Mr. Apex Racing is doing just fine, hitting those apexes as he is still ahead. Rodrigo Theory, P15 just behind. And that Draft Punk Silver livery. Oh, we'll take a little brief look here at Noah Hoskinson. He's driving slowly. Oof. Oof. That is his turn said and done. Alex Zier's still back at, on track. He pit on lap 6 after that spin, but he's in P28. He's actually no longer what we consider in contention, as we have some drivers going into the pits. See how that shakes up for them here on lap 11. Now we have to think about who's leading what. Nick Mazza right now is leading the race for the pros over Jacob Simmons and Mark Foley in third. Trevor Daniel in fourth. Chris Chitterling in fifth. Where are our pro-ams? Joshua Jablonski's a pro. Max Poe and Pax Oceani is the pro-am that is leading the pro-am race right now. It's P1 in that category, that classification. And that's great. He's got a bunch of pros behind him. Alex Othen, pro-am, is in P9. Joshua Spears is a pro. He just hasn't changed his accents on his livery. He is indeed pro. Same with Tyler Anderson, Elliot Burton, Spencer Smith. Marshall Scari's actually got a lot of drivers in the Pro-Ams that are ahead of him. Unfortunately, he's still got Chris Lambeth, who's in P17 behind him. So the championship is still up for grabs there for those two drivers. Braden Daniels is the AM class driver who will take P1 if he holds on to this. For the moment, he's winning. For that AM class title. There's no other rookies on the board except Yale Pena. And he's in P29, so he'll take P1. So it's looking pretty good. All things considered, you're the only one that shows up. You get P1. Championship's a championship. Cooper McCoy overtaking Steve McAllister. Yikes. Overtaking was not the word I should have used. There's Craig Carroll making a move. He's down in P31. It's a backmarker scenario there, but he is back out. As always, Cooper McCoy never fails to give the audience what they want. A little bit of pizzazz, some zhuzh, as you will. He made it interesting. No non-interesting moves from Cooper McCoy. What can we say? Right now, everyone is doing 128's race pace, which is kind of not surprising. You got a couple drivers in the 127s, but high 127s. The best time on the board at the moment is a 127.891, and that is from Christopher Chitterling here. Hey. Ooh! Elliot Burton finds the wall. He's going to go in the pits. Take a look back at that. How did that occur? Let's get a chopper view here. And... yeah, the rear stepped out on him and went right into the wall. Unfortunate. They could probably fuel saving like crazy for an overtake in the pits. Let's take a look here. He is back. His last lap was 128.3. He was he's almost 0.3 faster than Nick Mazza on that last lap, but they are separated by a second. 0.8 time. The heated battle that's out there, that was Christopher Chitterling and Christopher Daniel, or Chris Chitterling, as it's going by now. Guys change your names too much, I'll say that. Just keep it as one thing. It was Christopher Chitterling. Or was it always Chris Chitterling? I just don't know. The Battle of the Chris's is on the line. They're in P4 and 5. Pax Oceani versus Little Lugnuts. And right now it's going to Pax. Which is Christopher Daniel part of? I swear, he's part of a team. He's the Pax Oceani placeholder. And this fight has kind of dwindled as they have... It's allowed for a kind of a gap to form there. Joshua Spears is in the pits. Oh, he's towed. Ooh. Yale Pena, only rookie on the grid. He's got Alex Zier right alongside him. And it looks like it might go to Alex. Getting a little close there. They're going to keep this side by side for another couple corners, maybe. Still holding out. Yale Pena is ahead. Oof. A little sloppy on the exit. Alex Zier did get by and move right on through. Alright, let's take a look here at Prashant Jayaraman, who had a crash. It's turn 5. Not a great one. There. Joshua Spears was seemingly having a decent race here. Ooh. That's out for him. Cooper McCoy. Oh, this was the one we already saw. That's unfortunate. I won't return to that one. Lap 16 of 31. Alex Otten Has Peter Flanner in his sights, 3/10 of separation between these two, 2/10. Maybe it's going out before, but the draft punt gold drivers using all their luck here and hitting the corner exit of turn 13. This is not ideal. On board with Alex. This is as close as he's ever been right now, but not a lot of drivers were making moves into turn 1. Maybe he gets a great run here and tries to go for it, but I don't think so. It worked for Dylan Thomas earlier, but I don't think it's going to work for Alex Othman at the moment. It's just not quite there. I mean, passing is possible. It's just usually when someone makes a mistake. Rare form to see any of the drivers up ahead making mistakes, but look at that. Something quite not easy to see. But there's Christopher Daniels' left side, left front, and left rear has some damage. Actually, you can see that on Christopher Chitterling as well. They are a tire, the wheel well on the left rear. It's definitely scraped. Oh, you picked that up in the incident? That would make sense. Chris part of that though. Elliott Burton pit on lap 13. The only driver that pit who is in a higher position than he is now. I mean, started P18, but he is up I think 6 positions. So we will see. Tyler Kern's going into the pits. From P, which gives that P17 for Elliott Burton. P1 to P16 have not pit just yet. Jason M. Allen's 12 seconds ahead. 32.8 second pit time for Elliott Burton. He's definitely going to jump all the way up to P13, possibly for P12, once those drivers go in. So that's where he has to look out for. And a little bit, as we've still had drivers running this long, this stint, 19 laps now, gonna be 20, and still have yet to pit. Now Mark Foley's well intact. He's 3/10 off of Jacob Simmons. I don't foresee the two sister team drivers battling, but whatever issue he had driving slowly earlier is gone away, and he's cut some time into Jacob Simmons. He's 2/10 faster. The elusive work of Chris Lambert there with the pepper jack meme. Who knew the great cheese debate would stir this type of livery? I guess the chicken debate as well, but I think we're past it. I mean, that's just part of everything now. Jeff Lubitsch has just come out of the pits into traffic. He is a lap down. He's a P26, so I'm sure he will give way as he has. Joshua Jablonski into the pits now. Max Poe is also in. Rodrigo Thierry in. Now, where is our driver that we've been thinking about right now? It is Elliott Burton. He pit early, and now he's just got to go across that start straight. And how many spots will he pick up? Who is he going to be battling on the exit? This is going to be really interesting. Spencer Smith is on an outlap, and he is 1.1 seconds ahead. Not sure where they were in relation to each other before the pit stops, but he's up to P14, 13 and 14 for these two. Oh! That was a big hit into exit of turn 2. I hope his car is okay. And Joshua Jablonski was out. Alex Authen's out. Max Poe is out. Max Poe getting jumped in the pits by Alex Authen there. Spencer Smith out, and Elliott Burton pit 7 laps ago. He finds himself in a good spot. Jason M. Allen is at a P1 through 9. Have not pit just yet. Peter Flanner has gone in the pits. Tyler Anderson has remained out. Christopher Daniels in. Mark Foley's in. Jacob Simmons is out. Nick Mazza is out. So where is this going to pop up here for our drivers? Mark Foley out first. Who's next to him? Christopher Daniels still in the pits. 3.4, 3.5. It's going to get even longer than that. Jason M. Allen is now 6 seconds back in P6. And it looks like this gap that Mark Foley has found is going to stay pretty heavy. 3.9 seconds to P5. That is something. He did a 30.7 in the pit stop. If anyone is saving, it is definitely going to be that driver. Now this driver's got to pit as well. He pit on lap 1. It's going to drop him back quite a bit, but he doesn't have the fuel to go to the end of this race. You think. Peter Flanner, Max Poe battling it out here right now. Jacob Simmons stays out. Nick Mazza goes into the pits. Is Tyler Anderson going to go in the pits as well? Yes, he does. Mark Foley is getting closer here. And is he going to crucially get by this driver? He's exiting the pits. He's crossing the start straight. And Nick Mazza is out. Mark Foley is just behind. 1.3 back. Similar strategy. A 30.9 out of him. Nick Mazza retains that lead for now. I mean, he's in P2, but Jacob Simmons has to go in the pits. And he is not even at that part of the track just yet. Here comes Jacob's fuel save overcut. It's possible. Take a look. He's in the pits. Nick Mazza is got turn 13. He's still in the pits. Turn 14 to start straight. Where is he? He's out! And Jacob Simmons has taken the lead. He's retained the lead. He was P1 and he remains P1. That was some pit stop. A 30.1. And now Nick Mazza is 0.3 back. Pit stop strategies in the works. On lap 24 of 31. What a move. A bunch of people called it. And there's a reason why Jacob Simmons is a champion. Not the two-time, right? Is he a two-time? I think he's a two-time. Might be just a one-time. Better MPG running that chicken grease. Alright, Marshall Scary, Elliott Burton battling out here for P12. Separated by 0.3. Ooh. He lost a little bit of time, and I'm not sure if everyone caught that. But pulling back, take a better look at this. I think he has a little bit of a moment. Maybe he doesn't. Yeah, he does have a little bit of a moment. He caught out there and he went wide, but he had some type of issue that caused him to stray like that. Unfortunate for his chances to battle there, but it put him back 1.1 seconds. Braden Daniels, 6'10", 7/10 back from Rodrigo Theory. These drivers are up 6 and 7 positions. 2 of them. Highest amount on the grid? Possibly. It's not him, though. That respect goes to Tyler Anderson, who's up 9 positions since the start of this race, and he's in P7. Half a second to Jablonski. Oof, Cooper McCoy has towed. Jason's Chicken Shop is my favorite restaurant. Yeah, Alex Authen crashed. Oh. How'd that happen? That's a racing incident, I think. They just kind of... a bit of net code. I think like a little bit of net code on that one, but his... it's not over for him just yet. F's in chat. He's P11. He's actually started... or he's back where he started this race from qualifying, so... Unfortunate for Alex Authen, who was running fairly strong there next to Max Poe. He was ahead of Max Poe, and so he had P9. Max would have been in 10th, but all things considered, it's not a travesty for this driver. A travesty might be this. Oof. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Cooper. Oh, and his entire... Yeah, that's a travesty. His entire... his tire suspension was gone. Just completely... You could see that rear was completely, Dunzo. Hit the tire barrier at the right spot, and his car was not going to be drivable. He is still going. With 5 laps to go, can Tyler Anderson make a move here and get into P6? That would be really interesting to see. Joshua Jablonski has been quite the competitor throughout this series since his joining of the series. From rookie status to pro status, Jablonski was 3rd in the rookie championship when he made his jump to the pros for the second half of this season. One more round to go after this. I don't even know where we're going, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. Mark Foley has a meatball flag. Oh. We have Dylan Thomas. All things considered, not that bad of a wreck there. Steve McAllister. Oh, no way! This incident is what meatballed Mark. That is... I mean, the worst case scenario, passing a back marker, and it just meatballed him entirely. He's trying to get it, he's driving it straight, but there is some significant... Oh. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Mark Foley is back out there, by the way. His car is fully repaired, as it can be, and he's in P13. There are ways to manage faster traffic, and that's not it. He was close to P1 in the standings, too. He was close to P1 in the standings. Nick Mazza is going to have a little bit of a breather going into the final round. Maybe that will be his drop week there for Mark Foley, but yeah, that is... Mark has a drop week of 188 on the first half, and this would be his drop week. More than likely, this race will be his drop week for the second half. Unfortunately for Nick Mazza, all of his races are strong, so whatever he drops is going to basically negate the point separation between the two drivers. So going into the final round, it will be neck and neck for Nick Mazza and Mark Foley, despite this this result that Mark's gonna have tonight. Overall, they're separated by 8 points. In the second half, they're separated by 8 points. That's actually funny. They were even in the first half. They finished with 1636 points total. Both Mark and Mazda are good eggs. Mazda. Typing on your phone, I see. We will see a clash of titans in the final round there for those two drivers. As Max Poe keeping it strategically ahead of Peter Flanner. It's 2/10 separation, but they're going to go side by side into this final section, or into turn 3. Final section, final couple laps, 2 laps to go. Peter Flanner is gone on by, though. Max Poe giving up a spot. Oh. Now Spencer Smith maybe trying to make a move here. On board are Tyler Anderson, who's still got Joshua Jablonski in his sights. No change in the order for this one, but he is up 10 positions. That last one, when he was up 9, up to 10, was Mark Foley, and, you know, you take those where you can. May not be that noticeable here, but it's quite interesting. Oh my god. What is this? Oh god, no. Oh. What? I'm gutted for the man. I don't even know what to say. That was Elliot Burton, Marshall Scarry, and Mark Foley. The three of them just took it all. Two laps, 1 lap to go. I don't even have words. I have no words for that. There goes Jacob Simmons, rounding, and he wins this race. P1 for Jacob Simmons, Nick Mazza, P2, Christopher Daniel, and P3, Chris Chitterling, and P4, Joshua Jablonski holds out ahead of Tyler Anderson for P5, Tyler Anderson in 6, Peter Flanner in 7 as he holds out. Just a couple more corners to go. Max Poe and Spencer Smith are going to be battling down the line. Who's it going to go to? Is it still going to be P8 for him? Across the line, they do it. Max Poe in 8, Spencer Smith in 9, Alex Authen in 10, Rodrigo Theory in 11, Braden Daniels 12, Jason M. Allen in 13, Chris Lambeth holding off Alex Zier for a little bit longer. He's actually got a couple more corners to contend with before this is all said and done. But can Chris Lambeth keep it strategically ahead at the line? It looks like he's going to be able to do so. There he goes to pop to the inside line, but it's not going to be a move for it. Chris Lambeth in 14, Alex here in 15, Charles Whedon in 16. It's got a little bit ways to go, as so does Tyler Kern. 17 for him. Brandon Burns and Jake Daly, last of the drivers, have not yet crossed the line. There goes Brandon Burns, P18, Jake Daly 19, Joshua Spears in 20. Now, this is where it gets confusing because there is no 20. It should be 20 is not set, but it's going to be Joshua Spears, Jeff Lubitsch 21, Mark Foley 22, Yale Pena 23, Marshall Scarry 24, Elliot Burton 25, Dylan Thomas 26, Steve McAllister 27, Cooper McCoy 28, Craig Carroll 29, Prashant Jayaraman 30, Miles Brown 31, Noah Hoskinson 32, and John Javecki 33. That is it. Congratulations, Jacob Simmons. What a move. Everyone was calling it in the pits. Everyone was calling it in the chat. But what you did in the pits, were you fuel saving that much amount to where you just kept that overcut, the strategy?
Yeah, I was fuel saving pretty heavily in the first half, and it worked out. So it's a tough track. Is like I figured there were probably like very few on-track passing opportunities, so I committed to the fuel saving strat, and it worked out. So
yeah, I mean, congratulations on that too. I mean, you were like what 3/10 ahead right across right when you're coming out. Were you worried about that? Were you looking at your relative as you were exiting the pits? You saw that Nick Mazza was flying down that start straight finish as he was crossing the line. You were, or as he was going into turn one, you were right there on the exit, just getting out of the pits.
Yeah,
That's got to be
yeah, that was
yeah.
yeah. It was pretty sketchy. That like pit exit is like puts you out like right on the racing line. So I was really hoping I would come out with enough room, and it worked out. So
Yeah, I mean, fantastic result, great racing. Do you have any idea what happened with your sister teammate of Mark Foley when he slowed down in front of you, or
yeah, his mouse moved onto his other monitor and went like it prioritized like his other monitor, and it like windowed out of iRacing for like 5 seconds. So
oh,
yeah,
that's a
super
strange
unfortunate.
one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
very much a strange one, but
yeah.
you know,
Like prioritized his other monitor.
I see.
Sucks. But
Well, you got the
yeah,
spot there. Where was there any point
yeah.
during the race where you thought you would actually have to battle, like overtake him naturally? Do you guys have those type of rules in place to allow
Mark.
for that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If it had got down to the last few laps, we probably would have fought. But I was pretty committed to the fuel saving strategy, and I knew that if I had just kept going with how I was going and kept that pace, then I would have passed him in the pits for sure, and possibly Mazda, and it worked out. So thankfully we didn't have to fight. But it sucks. He ran into some lap traffic later in the race and ended up having a
Yeah,
tow.
yeah.
Like 2 laps to go.
I did see
Sucks.
I did see. Well, he it was two incidents. One was lap traffic, and the other was he got back
Yeah.
out in what P13, and then he just got collected into an incident that was not of his making, but he was there
Yeah.
for it. So
Yeah, it sucks.
truly awful
Bummer.
for him, but it just goes to get some drama in that final one where you know he's gonna really be. It's going to be a nail biter. I'm not even see what I kind of curious what's going to be happening because you're P4 in the championship. Trey did not show up tonight, so that's going to probably
Yeah.
boost you to
I think
third and possibly closer to the battle for the P1.
yeah, I think I'm out of the race for like the overall like 12-week championship, but I think I'm pretty close for the second half. So
Yeah, let's
um,
see what happens. I can't wait
yeah,
to see it in Nords.
Azza's
That's
leading right now, isn't he?
Mazda is leading, and
Yeah, Azza's
with
leading.
the
So
P2, that's going to keep him way ahead. But this will probably be Mark's drop week, so we'll see how that shakes up the second half in the
yeah,
overall. Well, thanks for
yeah,
joining me,
yeah.
Jacob.
It'll be good.
Yeah, congratulations
Thanks, man.
again, Jason's Chicken Shop. Really, I saw the pit crew; they're looking, you know, fairly well in tuned.
Fast as ever.
Yep. All right,
That's right.
take care,
Thanks, man.
Alex Sear. Uh, I don't. How's it going?
It's going.
You know,
I wasn't sure who won this.
it was actually Braden Daniels, but I'll talk to you. Braden Daniels was ahead
That
of
was
you
just.
by you had that
Oh,
slide.
yeah, I see his name now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had that slide in the first stint. What was going on with that? Was it just a little bit over ambition there?
No, I ended up getting damage right there at the start, and I think I just drove it a little too hard in that corner and lost it.
Okay, was the damage because of the concordant effect when this because what I saw is there seemed to be some kind of a slowdown for the drivers in the mid to back of the pack. Was that part of the damage that you were talking about?
No, it was kind of near. It was after the start. It ended up being what turn was that? It'd been after the hairpin there.
Okay,
I can't remember what turn it was. It was part way through the first lap.
I see. So had a little bit of damage, got a little, you know, on that. That's unfortunate, but you know, you still came back out strong. P15 on the overall. You P2 in the aim class there, but still a welcome result for yourself. You still have a great chance in the overall championship to see what happens there on the overall points finish. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to unfold. Are you prepared for Nords next Sunday?
No, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time practicing and hopefully don't get caught up on a tight track again like today, but we'll just kind of have to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, the reset button is going to be a friend when you practice that track. It is
Oh,
it's
100%.
quite something. Thank you for joining me, Alex, and I hope you enjoy the P2 finish and you know, have a good evening.
Yep. Thank you. You too.
Yep. See it. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. J Cup Moans. J Cup. Why'd you do that, Justin? All right, everybody. That's the race. That's round 11. Round 12 next Sunday. This Tuesday, we have the final round for the Brooklyn Le Mans Series. Might still probably be streamed. We got to get some turnout for that one. It's an endurance race, 2 hours, 40 minutes or something like that, however long that is. And, not a lot of classification drivers anymore that are participating, but hopefully we can get a bounce back on that final round. That said, we still have the ARCA series going. Next round, I think one final round at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If I might be wrong on that one, but then that's going to be this Wednesday. Then V-Rays on Thursdays for the that multi-class event. V-Rays are really fun. Those group of guys are probably the nicest people you'll meet in the Brooklyn Racing League. That said, they are definitely the nicest. Thank you for joining me, and as always, everyone have a good evening.